And then there's another collaboration book coming out in August, and my second solo book, Child of the Sun, En route to enlightenment in India, which comes out in probably September. I was abused as a kid by a friend of the family, or rather molested. Furkhan, he kind of stepped out of life. He didn't take his medication. When he just went cycling, and boom, last breath, fell off his bike. It was the first time I actually woke up with a headache the next day, and I really thought to myself, it's got to be a dream, but it wasn't. That was my superpower, not eating, because that was something I could control. And that was the same for working like a maniac. It was something I could control because I was running away from my emotions. Because you could put me in the desert, as I always say, I'm like a little chameleon, and I will always find work. And that's always been a drive within me. When he passed away, my mom was leaning on me because I used to help her out every weekend. I remember as a kid, my dad used to throw plates when he was angry. I saw him do it once. And so that's the exact same thing that I did. If I ever find you, you're going to be dead. I had to find a way to pick myself up because I couldn't go on like that anymore.
When you came forward with the truth?
It was when we were watching an Oprah Winfrey episode on abuse, and my mom said, I'm glad it never happened to either of you. And I didn't want that. So it was like, and this is parents for you. It was really like pushing for me to talk about it. And at the time, I mean, when I was 19, that was in the 1993, and so even then times were different. And I didn't see a counselor or anything, so I just kept it with me. And again, we can keep deflecting and pointing fingers, but it's all about taking that responsibility. And even though things happen in our youth that may not be our fault, because we're kids, at the end of the day, when we become adults, it's like, deal with it and heal.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. And it's really following your inner north compass, as I always say. And it's something that I really had to learn. And it doesn't mean that my life is always a bed of roses. I'm still learning every single day. Your experiences are here not to downgrade you, but to help elevate your consciousness and to make you understand, what life is all about, really. So people always ask me, what's the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate? I always say twin flames, you're split from the same nucleus. It's quite fascinating. So yeah, my twin flame is on this plane.
Yeah.
And twin flames, the funny thing is, and for everyone that's different, but I can step into the energy and see what goes on. It's different to soulmates. I think because twin flames are so connected, even on an ethereal level, or the astral planes, you just know what's going on. But if they don't vibe from the same hymn sheet, they're not on that same level of consciousness, then it's adios. You cannot stop. If you don't do that, you're going to stop their growth, but you're also stopping your own growth. And why are you doing that to yourself?
It's, again, that sense, or just that avoidance. And Freud talked about it quite a bit in terms of defense mechanisms that we build early in life. And speaking of the healing journey, you touched on it, but in your story, there's a rock bottom in terms of having a night where you blacked out. And I bring this up because that was a similar experience for me, where one day I woke up, I'm like, that was scary, and I don't want to experience that ever again.
So when I blacked out, you mean when I took the drugs? Yeah, I mean it was because, for me, it was also because I had sex and I wasn't even aware of it, and that was a violation. And yes, I altered the path in a sense, no more drugs, but I still had a lot more trauma to go through. And he would always come round. He would, it's just ridiculous. I had to get his groceries and everything. And here I am. I've got my own home, my own bills to pay, and I'm working 7 days a week. I was very much in survival mode, The only focus that I had was really my work. I was teaching Reiki. I was attuning people, but healer heal thyself. I even sold my home to get away from this guy, the home that I loved so much. And then when he had to move because he was evicted, he's like, Birgitta, can you please pay the deposit? I promise I'll pay you back. Made a contract. Did I get it back? No, of course not. I was ripped off by the builders as well. Oh, that's just great. A builder that was a coke addict and an alcoholic. When I was screaming at the universe for help, it came in a little breadcrumb from my sister in the form of Kambo healing, shamanic frog healing. Thank the heavens I took a change of underwear with me, some change of clothes. And I had this bucket next to me and I was just purging. In the meantime, of course, you have to drink 2 liters of water.
Yeah.
I was just purging and purging so badly. And I had to run up and down to the toilet because it just came out everywhere. It was really a very physical experience, but it was powerful. That's when I changed my life even more. It was such a powerful experience. And that's where I met my former mentor, Alania Starhawk. And she's an amazing healer with my ex in Florida, where he poisoned me in a past life. And it's one of the reasons that I suffered severe stomach issues for quite some time. I always say mea culpa because I worked 70 hours a week, pretty much constant last year.
Yeah.
So I worked an extra and I calculated pretty much 5 months extra on top of the year. It's like our job, our wages are like the drug that keeps us going. That's insane. Why don't we not follow our passions, whatever that may be? And because we're so programmed to live a certain way, to be a certain way, that we've forgotten our true nature. If you follow your passion, if you follow your heart, they're calling it the journey of the soul. If you follow the journey of the soul, you will live a far more fulfilled life. Prices have gone up, so people have to make the hours. And that's deviating from our awareness. And it's done so by design.
Yeah.
It's done on purpose because the more they can exercise control, the more they've got us in our back pocket. And I call that enslavement of humanity. And people just don't see it. It's not selfish to focus on yourself.
The foreword was from your mom. And I thought it was fairly beautiful that she saw you.
My mom doesn't believe in the stuff that I do, but she still supports me. And she openly admits that, but she knows that I battled my way through life and that I'm still here. When I returned to the UK, nothing, absolutely nothing. I haven't achieved anything, but you have. Look what you've achieved. You've traveled the world. You've always managed to work wherever you went. You've seen different cultures, met many different people. And it's not about having the house, having the mortgage, having the family, having the kids. Absolutely not. Healing starts with you, not with anybody else. It matters what you feel and how you feel about yourself and how you decide to take that first step to healing. The journey of healing, even though you have to walk through the darkness and hug it out with your demons, because their demons are not really your foe. They're actually friends friends in disguise. When you come out the other side, peeling back the layers, eventually it is well worth it because you release so much junk from your mind. We keep it in the archives of our minds. And forgiveness is very important as well. Forgiving ourselves and having compassion, being kind to ourselves rather than, beating ourselves up in boxing ring, and just hugging it out with ourselves and loving ourselves. And they can reach me via my website, which is powersoulhealing.com. I'm on YouTube under Power Soul Healing and Instagram under Universal Light Warriors.